Covering Donald Trump is exhausting from a finance perspective. I am sure some of these companies, whether they're privately owned, mom and pop businesses or corporations, I'm sure some of them are exhausted on this roller coaster ride, and it's only been like a month. He's going to put in the tariffs. Uh-oh. Wait, he's not going to put in the tariffs. Oh, okay. No, wait, he is going to put in the tariffs. Oh, no. And these companies eventually, I think, are going to get really tired of being dicked around with. Just take a look at this article here, December 5th, 2024. Chipotle raises their prices across the board by 2% to help offset inflation. Why do you think that Chipotle is doing this? Do you think that they're looking at it from the past? Like, oh, Biden. No, this is forward-looking. This is Chipotle listening to Trump on the campaign saying tariffs, 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 and they're saying, let's get in front of this, let's get ahead of this, and raise the prices now, so when he gets in, we can say this. We're not raising prices due to tariffs. We care about our consumers. Dude, you raised the prices like 2 months ago, preemptively. So you won't have to raise them now, and you can come out the hero saying, oh, we know that you guys are struggling with inflation and the high cost of food. Look at Chipotle. We're the good guys. We're not going to do, because you already did it. You did it ahead of time. If you're new here, my name is Kenneth, and I've been investing for over 20 years and trading stocks for 14 years. Now, when I first started, I was swing trading, which is, it's like day trading, but it's longer than a day, and it's a couple weeks, maybe a couple months that you're in the trade. And I was doing that from 2011 to 2016. And then Trump got elected. And I went, whoa, this guy is crazy. Let me just step back for a minute and pay attention and watch. Because Wall Street hates uncertainty and his tweets were crazy. So I stepped back and I was watching. And he would put out a tweet. This is an awful sector. This is an awful company. I can't believe this company. I can't believe the CEO. And then the next day it would skyrocket. And I watched this over and over a few times. And this is in 2016. And I went, oh, I know what's going on here. Either he's going to his friends going, hey, watch this. Or his friends are going to him going, hey, Donald, I want to buy stock in this company. I want to make some investments. Can you put out a little tweet, drive that price down? And he's like, I got you. And I remember it specifically, I think it was Amazon, but I'm not 100%. But I think he put out a tweet in like 2017 or 2018 or something like that about how Amazon was this awful company, and he was going to crack down on Amazon, and it was this terrible company, and the stock tanked. And like a day or two later, he came out and was like, I never said Amazon, I never said this, Amazon is such a great company, and Amazon stock skyrocketed. And I was like, oh, he's manipulating the stock market for his friends. So you guys, we can do this too. It doesn't just have to be a move for the super wealthy. Now look, I do think that his policies will cause a recession at some point, maybe even a depression, but I'm thinking more likely, look, this guy is here to enrich himself and his friends, and recessions are great for that. This is just him manipulating markets to enrich his friends. Now, at some point, when the data catches up, I do think we're going to see a recession, which he's going to say was Biden's fault. Then he's going to reverse his decisions on some things and fix the problem that he created so he can come out and say, I'm the savior. But we have to be paying attention to the stock market, you guys, because this is the way to make generational wealth. I want to show you something. I know I'm doing this in a lot of my videos lately, so some of the regulars must be tired of this, but this is my recession wish list from November 2008. I've told you, I've been investing for a very long time, and there are companies on here you'll recognize. Starbucks was $7. Chipotle was $38. They ended up going over to $3,000 before they had their stock split. McDonald's was $55 in 2008. You have to get your wish list, and you have to, first of all, you have to be consistently investing. I'm doing the Trump thing. You have to be consistently investing. If you're a retail investor you've got a Roth IRA, a retirement account, you're investing in your S&P 500, a technology, a dividend, and you're doing $200 or $300 a month, don't stop. Don't say, well, I'll sit it out until things get bad. Just be consistent. Invest at highs and lows and everywhere in between, and it'll all be fine. But if you're looking to get some individual stocks, start assembling a wish list of some high quality companies. I'll show you a little bit about how to research that in a second. And the general rule of thumb when it comes to investing is be consistent. So if you're doing $300 a month or $150 a month or whatever you're doing, remain consistent doing that. But in really big down days, like what we've been seeing recently, where the markets are down 600 points, and then the next day they're up 500 points, and then 2 weeks later they're down 800 points, and then the next day they're up 500 points, is invest a little bit more than you normally do. So I think Trump is going to be a disaster. I'm sitting on a little bit more cash, but I'm also still taking advantage of days like this where markets drop 600 points, 700 points. Trump threatens this, markets in turmoil. Oh no, oh no. Just take a look at this headline here. Now, we hear this every time there's a recession. This is the worst. This is unusual. This is unlike every other time. And what happens? We have a 100% recovery rate. Look, Trump is 78 years old. He's old. I know this is really scary, and a lot of this stuff that he's doing is going to have ripple effects throughout our economy, potentially for decades. But this nightmare will end, and some return to normalcy will hopefully happen, but the markets will recover because, oligarchy or not, we've always been a country that puts Wall Street first, money first, right? That's the whole thing. It's always been profits over people. Always. It probably, unfortunately, always will be here in the United States. So I'm not worried about the markets going away. Short-term volatility. But when you see articles where the guy says, whether the stock market can survive this remains to be seen, you know what these guys are doing. They're trying to scare retail investors, new investors who've never invested a day in their life, and they just started because they follow someone like me on TikTok who's saying, you got to invest. If you want to retire, you got to invest. And they're trying to drive you to sell your shares. So not only should you not sell your shares, you should sit on a little bit more cash during rocky times like this. You should also assemble a wish list. And if you're worried about money and you're like, oh, I don't know if I have enough to invest, man, make yourself as uncomfortable as you possibly can during downturns, because that's where real wealth is created. So I have a playlist on some side hustles here that you can go through and watch. If you're like, I'm not making enough money to invest, find a way to make some money, because you want to be able to. The rich are taking advantage. The rich are throwing money in like you couldn't believe into the stock market. On days like this where the market's tank and then they pop, you gotta follow their lead here. As evil as they are and as much as we hate them, you gotta follow their lead here. But most importantly, you have to be picking high quality companies. So here's something I wish I was one of these gimmick content creators where I could say, because it's so helpful, I'm gonna make it free, but it's actually always been free. But take a look. All you have to do is type this in, click on the menu, which is right here, and all of these resources are free, including a course, which launches right into the course. There's no email sign up. I'm not going to try to sell you anything later. I don't want your money. I want you to invest it. But what you really want is this fundamental analysis template. And if you click right here where it says, here's a link, it's fillable. You can fill it in yourself, but this is what it looks like. I also have a playlist right here on TikTok that is called How to Find and Research Stocks. So go find that playlist too, because there's a lot of really helpful videos here. You got to do it. You got to do it if you want to retire. Hit the follow. Thanks for watching. See you later.